When I say this movie needs to be seen everywhere, and I mean, to me, it's an Oscar nod, like I truly mean it. You guys absolutely crushed it. And I really do feel if there's anybody listening, yo, you need to get on this shit. Because the bottom line is, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. If this movie is not seen, then the world cannot heal.
Shawn French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time. I confirmed it. A whole society determined society.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Determined Society. I'm your host, Shawn French, and today I have a special treat for you. I know I always say that, but wait until you hear this show and watch this show wherever you enjoy the Determined Society. So today I have an amazing cast from an amazing film that I just saw, and it's an independent film that to me needs to be distributed everywhere on big screen and has major Oscar implications in my mind. It's incredible. And these performances from the actresses to the actors and the writing and directing from it's just a masterful piece. So today I have with me award-winning actress, Mena Suvari. You have definitely seen her in a lot of films, American Pie, American Beauty, yada, yada, yada. Well, she plays an amazing lead role as the mom, Leah, in this movie, and she absolutely crushes it. And we have our man, Bill Barrett, who plays Samuel, a very complex character, incredible. I got to tell you, dude, that role, it was very amazing to see that role on screen. And we have our writer and director, Rob, like, dude, you like Rob Sayegh, right? It's a Sayegh without an R, but we're here. And, man, I'm just so happy to be here with you guys. And I told you guys before filming that I'm in love with the movie.
Thank you, Shawn. Thanks a lot for having us. It's an amazing opportunity.
My pleasure.
To be able to talk about it with you and someone who watched it and liked it and had some input. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, like, again, you know, from opening scene to the very last scene, it's the name is fitting, Beyond the Rush, because my heart was continually going like this. Like, it was, you know, Mena, your beginning scene, right? Like that right there, I was like, oh my God. Like, I knew right then, I'm like, my wife is not going to watch this movie with me because she'll have nightmares for the rest of her life. This is going to be all on me to watch. But from that point to you know, the character you played, Leah, and Bill, you as the lead male, like, I have so many questions, right? Like, first of all, tell me kind of how you guys, what attracted you guys to Beyond the Rush in the first place, because it is such a dynamic film.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mena.
You want me to start? Okay. I mean, I've always been really drawn to projects that involve our director also being the writer. Just feels very heartfelt. And I really loved this character because, I mean, I'm always looking for a human story. I'm always looking for something that really challenges me, that I feel like I can learn from, that I can grow from and with. And I think I just, at the core of it, really connected with her as, I guess it's kind of twofold. You know, I've suffered from my own addictions, overcoming those, really feeling like it was a matter of just consistently trying to be better than my circumstance, a better person in any way that I could. So I connected with, I feel like, that part of Leah, those intentions, but then also as a mother, you know, in connection with that, you know, to me, it's interesting how complex she was, the things that she was facing, not only physically and mentally and emotionally. But it was this idea of her just consistently trying to do her best. It's sort of like ambiguous, and that's what was interesting to me. You know, it wasn't just about her being this bad person. It was interesting to me how at her core, I really felt like she was trying. And, you know, however that manifested in the many different ways that you could say she failed, it's like she still had this, this goodness to her. Like, so that's what was really interesting for me to get to try to explore and play with.
It was amazing because up until the point where you guys are sitting in the living room, right? Samuel is a young boy, and then his brother Peter. It was time for your character to go away for a bit to get better. You could see the pain in Leah's eyes, and that was the goodness, right? And it's also kind of why, if you continue to watch the movie, you're almost, you know, Samuel's conscious throughout the whole movie, and that's the It to me it made sense.
I just want to say it's also, I mean, thank you so much, but it really came from also not only having Rob there at the helm of all of this, and the way that he was so grounded and patient with us and gave us the freedom. I mean, at least for me, gave me the freedom to explore and find that. But our incredible cast, I became so close with. And like that moment that you're talking about, that also, it not just came from the story, but it came from the relationship that I was able to form with Kathy in those moments. And I think also just, again, like tapping into mother to mother, it allowed all of that to evolve. Like it's such a mix of all of that collaboration together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And kudos to Rob, because I mean, like what you did, not just writing and directing it, but putting everybody in that place to do what they do, clearly showed a lot of freedom and creativity and everybody being themselves, you know. So Bill, man, like, you know, talk about your character, very complex character, right? I felt like every 5 seconds, something was happening to Samuel.
Right. I remember,
You know?
yeah, I mean, that was something that I talked to Rob and Jace about in the beginning, is there's so much what happens and it can get so heavy to really be careful to not get too, I guess, like precious with any moment, and like, you know, how to really go about the entire arc of the story. But that kind of ties into what really drew me to the project is I really enjoy projects like this that really get to the meat of like the down to the bones of life. Like it's real, it's gritty, it's raw. It's what so many people go through, even if it's, I mean, most people can probably say they know someone or they've been affected by one of the topics in this movie. But everybody's still going about their life, right? Everybody is doing the best they can with what they have while they're dealing with all these things. So I see this and I'm like, here's this dude that's like literally dealing with some of the heaviest topics and multiple at once. And it's a way to honor how relatable it is for normal people, that it can, if we play this right, we can honor everybody's stories and what people go through, and they can relate to this character, relate to all the characters in this. And then also you kind of, at least for me, I got perspective that everybody's going through something. So it made me in my, you know, when I talk to people like strangers, to have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more understanding, and a little bit more patience, because just like with Samuel, everyone's going through some shit.
Dude, that's freaking impactful, because right from the jump of the movie, right? It's like there was a scene, and right at this certain scene, I'm not going to say it because I want people to watch this and like be surprised of what happens in the movie, because I feel I love the movie so much I could talk about it and ruin it for everybody. But there was a moment there where someone comes up to you and is like, hey, looks like you're doing great. What do we really know about people's lives? Right? What do we really know? So to your point, being able to be introspective, like, wait a second, the whole world is going on right now. Like, I'm having this conversation with y'all right now, and I have certain problems in my life, but there's somebody down the road that has bigger problems. And what are they going on in their life? Maybe they're the one that cut me off in traffic. I don't know what they're in a hurry for. Maybe I should give them some grace.
100%. And that's such a great example, because that's even something that's happened to me since, is like, being cut off, or just something so small as to be disrespected. But then it's just like what you just said. Well, hold on. Like, is it really me? Like, they don't even know me. That's just their shit that they're projecting out, and they're just doing the best they can and trying to deal with it. It's not me. Now, it'd be one thing if like Rob knows me and he texts me, be like, hey, you suck. Like, all right, well, maybe that's a little personal.
It's a little personal.
Yeah, but to the general public, it's like, yeah, man, like, grace.
Yeah,
I think that goes a long way, and I think that would mean a lot too for everybody to understand that.
This is impactful, because you mentioned growth, and Mena, you mentioned personal growth as well. You like to choose roles that help you grow as a person. So I kind of want to hear from each of you. Mena, we'll go Rob, then Mena, and then Bill, you can elaborate on how it helped you grow in your life, just playing these characters and being a part of this production.
If you want me to say, well, I'm going to go back to what these guys said about just being there with the actors, and my approach to directing this film after writing it for so many years and having the story. I've been with this story since 1992 is when it was. So many decades with Samuel. Leah came up later in the story, actually in the short film. Anyway, so for me, it was like, I wanted these guys to do what they wanted to do. They read the script. They honored me by entrusting me to come and do the movie and put all of their energy into it, which is an unbelievable thing for me to have these actors come and say they wanted to do the role. So to have them say yes was like, I got chills now. Like, it really meant that much. And so when I was like, my approach to directing was, hey, what do you guys want to do? It's like, it's a little bit different. It wasn't really about directing them per se, because they're professional. They knew what they were doing and they had their ideas. Certain words I wanted said at certain moments, maybe. But for the most part, I just wanted to see what they did, and it was awesome to watch this movie, because I was watching the movie. I wrote it, but I'm literally there watching Mena become Leah and Bill become Samuel. So, like, for me, I was just like, hey, you guys do whatever you want. You want another take? Take another, do another take. It was with everybody, and I was very like, it was all about them, really. And entrusting them with it, because they put that trust in me. So that was kind of, I think, why we got the performances we got, because I wanted to I make them feel as comfortable as they could, because it's just not a comfortable environment on that set. But we were like kind of this little family. So I think, getting back to the point.
You just let them be the peacocks they are, and you let them fly, Captain. That's what you did, baby. That's what you did.
Yeah.
You guys know that reference, The Other Guys, with Will Ferrell and Marky Mark?
Oh, yeah.
No? Okay. Yeah, come on, Mena, help me out here, for crying out loud.
I like it. And sounds
You
great.
like it. Good. It was good.
What is it? I'm a peacock, Captain. You got to let me fly.
I'm a peacock. I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly. Have you ever done a desk pop? What's a desk pop? He fires the gun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Just writing The Office.
Yeah, just boom. Everybody's done one. Sorry, Mena. We're getting it. Yeah. So she's like, it's here. It's here on that one. It's gonna come across. She's gonna watch the movie over again now. So Mena, like, again, you mentioned that you like to have, a character, play a character that you're truly interested in that can help you grow. How did this impact you, this film overall?
I think that it's really about this beautiful gift, this opportunity to really be. I mean, obviously, because I feel like there's so much emotion involved. There's so much complexity. And, sort of like what Rob was touching on, in contrast to my own life, it's really nice to step into this space where you can just be and you can flow. And it's like each and every time that I get the opportunity to work, it sort of becomes that. And then out of that, I think it's about learning how to live in that space, just kind of approaching, we were also working with younger individuals, with younger children. And it's like, you can't, I think the gift for me is it's like getting out of any sort of expected space, and it's being given the opportunity to just feel something, to really just move with each moment and work off of one another to see what happens. And that's like an energetic gift for me. Like when you talked about those moments in the room, saying goodbye to the family, or, sitting with Wyatt, who played Samuel, and having these really complicated moments as a mother. I mean, it was really challenging for me. I think I spoke with Rob about this at the beginning. Like, I was really coming from this place of like, I don't want to traumatize anyone, and if there's anything that I can do that needs to just specifically be on me, that the kids aren't even there. I mean, that's always really hard for me, to not be thinking about like how much damage I'm doing to this other person by yelling at them or being a particular way. But yeah, again, I think it's just, even with Bill, like just kind of like being able to approach something as like just a complete blank slate, and really be open to finding how you need to navigate those moments. Like, to me, that's just the greatest gift as an actor and as a person. It just allows me to let go of everything, of like every expectation, and just feel.
Yeah. I think the word feel is super important, right? Because a lot of times people want to skip the feel part, right? And when you're in something like this and you're feeling those moments, just makes everything much more impactful, and also shows us, towards the end, everything has the opportunity to be okay, right? Bill, your character, I feel like I want you to answer the other question. I think you already have, but I do feel like Sam got his happy ever after, man. Towards the end, I thought it was a nice little twist. Like, what are your thoughts?
In regards to how it ended?
Yeah, so I feel like, that character, Samuel, got a happy ever after. He had such a hard life.
Yeah.
And so many things. And then, the wife was there. And then, the other things, I don't want to ruin the ending for people, but
Right.
I probably already did. But, but I, hey, I'm not perfect. But the bottom line is like, there was a moment where there was a massive pendulum swing, right? And in the whether it was luck or more blessings towards Samuel's character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in terms of like him finding his happy ending, I think he definitely overcame, a lot from seeing the film and anyone who watches it. And that was definitely what really inspired me about the character and the story. Is I always admire when people go through some real shit and they come out the other side, like real life stuff. And it was nice to see the way that it ended. And I know Rob really wanted to instill hope. And that was an important factor, as opposed to it potentially ending a lot darker, a lot sadder, a lot worse. And when I think getting that ending after going through this journey with all the characters, but specifically that ending with Samuel and Tristan, after everything they go for, I think it is really rewarding to see. And it's like, man, putting an audience through the ringer as this film does, but in such a way to tell the story of having hope at the end, I think is nice, because they've been through so much the entire story. So to give them that at the end, I think leaves the audience feeling good, because there's a lot of good moments, I think, throughout the film. It's not just heavy, it's not just sad. And those moments are important to tell that story. But then to get that at the end, you feel like you get to the end of the rainbow, you get the reward. And for people that have actually experienced these things or know people, which most do, it gives them hope, and it gives them, I think the biggest thing that we can do as people is to have an impact on other people. So for this character, for all these characters, for this story to be relatable to anyone and to inspire them and to have an impact, I think is like the greatest thing that we can do as actors. And so hopefully with that ending, that comes across.
Well, I think that, I mean, I know that you guys everybody in the movie impacted me when I watched it. It was phenomenally done. The one thing that I really noticed, and it's so funny because my show is called The Determined Society, and I'm watching this whole movie. I'm like, these are some determined sons of bitches here in this movie, because there's a lot of shit going on, like a lot of shit. And it just showed that, you know, in everyone's lives, there are moments where you either have the option to either throw in the towel or B, fight. And everyone in this movie was a fighter, and I fucking loved it because of that, right? Because of that. Did you guys feel, I mean, I know determination probably wasn't one of the things that crossed your mind, but looking back at it and looking at your characters, how determined were they? And Rob, how determined were you to write this whole script?
Well, yeah, determination's a good word. To never stop, you know, as a writer, I've come up for 30 years writing in my life. So most of the time I had bartending jobs, right? So that's how I made money to survive, and had other jobs and work in production here and there. And just, you know, how many times I've been told it's not good, or as a writer, that's not good. No, I mean, every door closes, every door. You know, I'm going to be 51 in a few weeks, which is crazy. And this is, you know, my first.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
This is my first project. So like never giving up, I guess, is what I did, you know.
Hell yeah.
I got sober May 8th, 2018. It's going to be 7 years. And once I got sober, I knew from like, I was not going to stop. There were times in my life where it was like, I could have easily given up. Like, I'm not a good writer. Like I really wasn't even, I didn't have good English scores in school. My math SATs were much better than my English. So I don't kind of teach myself and study the dictionary, like, you know, speak a little bit better, try. I'm from Brooklyn, so sometimes I don't speak so well.
You're doing great.
So, but like that, I just never stopped. There's so many people who are going to beat you down. And that's just with life. That's everything. And like, the only way you can learn that, it sucks, is that like, it's through time and through age, right? So like, it's only wisdom you can gain through living these years. You know, you can say it when you're young, but you don't know. So just getting through life to get here, to be able to do this, was never giving up. And, you know, Samuel, and a lot of the people in this is my life. Like, there's a lot from my life personally and from people I know lives who I put into the characters through my own family life, you know. There's conversation at the kitchen table between Leah and Kathy. You know, that's about my mother and my dad, you know, but, you know, like there's just stuff in there, and that's why it's real, because it is real. And the way that I wanted to tell it was to make it commercially sellable. Because let's be honest, the subject matter is heavy. Wanted to do it in a way where people could go see it and not get cringed out. Where we're 13, 14-year-olds could watch this, all the way up to 80. And we've, been to a bunch of film festivals. And after we go, we stand up there and we get approached and people just come and talk to us. Mena's been there, Bill, and I've been there, and they just give us their stories. It's nice. And so, not giving up is totally a theme in this movie because it's a theme in my life. So, what else was I going to do? I was like, I'm not someone who kind of like, throws in the towel. So I was like,
I love that shit. That's good. That's good stuff.
Like,
that's
I was
good
going to get
stuff.
no matter what. Now, like, I'm going to get a distribution deal no matter what. So,
hell, man, if I quit every time someone laughed at me for wanting to start a podcast, I wouldn't be sitting here with y'all.
And so, that's the character. Bill took that character and, man, he played the hell out of it and gave it humor. He put, there's some, some like funniness in the banter between the brothers, because that was how I was with my younger brother. And like, so joke around with him. He did it great. Like there's some ad-lib lines in there that, one day we'll talk about that he ad-libbed. I was like, oh, so I tell people when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, Bill added that, and give it some humor and some lightness, because we do know it's heavy, so real life is, but at the end, I battled to get a good ending, something that you don't walk out feeling,
And you could see it, man. You can see it in that whole battle. Like, Mena, I want you to speak on determination now, because you've been in this business a very long time. I'm sure there was moments that were very frustrating.
You gotta go, Bill?
All right, my man.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You're leaving.
Yeah, can you believe he's doing the Irish goodbye? He's doing the
Irish goodbye is if you didn't say anything.
I know. It just kind of drifted off. Hey, sending you love, man. Give your pops my best, man.
Thanks, and it's been an honor to be on here. I really enjoyed talking to you. I'd love to talk more about baseball, but thanks so much.
Absolutely. Well, we'll do a group thread. Or something.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Text thread.
This is
Good luck, Bill.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
bud.
Thank you, brother. So, I mean, again, Mena, you've been in the industry for a long time, and then you've gone through many different roles and probably a lot of different types of rejection and all that good stuff. And you're a mom, and you're an author.
And I'm a mom. Yeah. I don't know.
How about that one? Right?
Where do you want me to begin? I feel like,
dude, you tell me, girl.
To Rob, it's like I've been a fighter since I've been in the womb. Born a fighter. Yeah. It's just my path.
Man.
I think now at 46, I'm like learning how to accept it.
Dude, it's constant, isn't it?
I mean, it can be.
Yeah.
Haven't always had it easy, personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where do you, I don't know.
Well, I think the important thing when we're talking about determination, we're talking about pushing through adversity is really, and I talk about this all the time, is doing the next right thing, right? So let's say, you're getting discouraged and there's someone right now watching the show that has followed you your whole career, and the words that come out of your mouth are going to help them. How do they, what would you tell them to do if they're struggling and they're at that point, they just want to quit on their dreams? What would you tell them?
Oh gosh. I mean, I feel like, that's really the person that I try to be every day. It's still also working to honor myself and not giving everything away. I mean, I wrote a book on my life, like, because I wanted to share, I wanted to give back. That was always like at the essence of my core. That I used to say, if I can shave off a summer of suffering for someone, then I want to do that. And I think what I've really learned is that it's important to keep as best as you can a good environment. It's important to really honor yourself and get to know yourself. I'm still doing that, but that all has a ripple effect. It allows you then to, I feel, have a better environment around you. So much of, I think, so many of the situations that I got in caught up in or, got involved with really came from a place of not respecting myself and not loving myself. And that allowed for a lot of abuse and a lot of disrespect. And, I really started to then focus on developing my own value and working to understand my worth and understand my place. And, I think that has a great effect, because if I can learn to be okay at my core, then I believe that allows for you to persevere. It allows for you to be more focused in order to do that. I had to really assess what was around me. I kind of trusted everything. I gave everything away. That created a lot of, like negative circumstance. So again, I think it's really about, starting with yourself first and foremost. That it's learning how to love yourself and learning how to value yourself. Because again, just with myself, I feel like I ended up creating a lot or being caught up in a lot of chaos because I just wasn't in a good state myself. I ultimately was abusing myself in a lot of ways. And that, that rippled out by then the type of environment, the type of people that I was around, that rippled out by taking everything personally, not being able to just see my worth in anything. So I think it's important, to know that it's sort of like connecting with your own power, with your own, with understanding that we all have that we all have that innate gift of energy. And I think that, when you get to understand that and you feel more empowered, you come to understand that, I think you come to be able to navigate some of those moments a lot easier, I think because of so much of that was at my own core, I wasn't able to navigate things in the right way. I would give up,
Yeah, that's all interesting, and you're spot on every bit of it, and it's so crazy because one of the main things was when you get to really know yourself to the core, right? You have to truly know yourself and just understand what your boundaries are and who you are really, right? And I think that a lot of people kind of put the cart before the horse. They want the self-confidence, they want all the respect, they want to know who they are, but yet they're falling short on their standards that they set out. God bless you. They start the standards that they set on themselves every single day, right? So if you're going on an introspective journey, you're sitting there, okay, every day I'm going to do A, B, and C, right? So you do A, B, and C no matter how good or bad you feel, right? And this is where the determination kicks in. Everything that you've gone through in your personal life, everything that Rob's gone through, everything that Bill's gone through, and even myself is, okay, are we going to make the decision to move forward even though emotionally I feel like shit right now, right? Because if I don't move forward, I'm out of alignment with who I am, right? And I just get further and further away from that person, that man, that woman I'm supposed to be, right? Whereas to your point, if we keep going and searching for our value, we find it in the work. And a lot of people miss that.
Yeah. Because I was, I think ultimately I had to understand that a lot of, situations that I was involved in, it really came from a place of me feeling my own lack. I was trying to obtain love and affection, buy love and affection, like in all these ways. It was like you said, you know, the cart before the horse. It was more, yeah, I think I had to learn that it really involved beginning with the internal work to then affect my outer circumstances, you know, because I very easily got caught up in victimhood, you know, and just kind of like blaming everyone and blaming everything. And I still do a lot of this work, but I've had to do a lot of work to not be angry, you know, because of the things that I've gone through. And I mean, when last time I saw Rob, I was like gushing about how I found Kabbalah and like how it's like changed my life. And I've really gone into this, you know, on this different path. And I feel like in a lot of ways it really saved me because I was really, really resentful and bitter about a lot of the things that I've gone through in my life. And so again, that really involves empowering myself and understanding that ultimately I'm okay. We're all okay. It's about understanding what our life's work is, our path, making the connections between a lot of the similar things, the similar circumstances that have happened in my life, understanding that those things presented itself in order for me to correct that and learn that issue with myself.
It's so
but
crazy.
that involved taking a lot of responsibility, and that was something that I really didn't want to do.
It's funny because not in a humorous way, but when I look at, you know, the Shawn French that was 35 years old, I don't like that guy at all. Like, just like you, I was looking for love and in all the wrong places and doing the wrong actions or whatever it was. I was out drinking with the guys. I would take whatever I could because I was so hurt inside. Right. I was everything was so painful. It was like this undercurrent of shame and guilt inside me because, you know, I grew up playing baseball. When then my baseball career ended in college, I didn't know who I was. That was my identity. And so I went on blaming others. I went on making stupid decisions, taking whatever I could. And in the background, there's this ripple effect, right? In this wake of relationships that I was just destroying because I was being selfish. And it wasn't until much, much later, into my 40s, I'm like, well, wait a second. You know, I'm 46 now. And it wasn't until I was probably 41 or 42 that I really started to realize, like, that was all bad. Like, what was I doing? This is all me. I wasn't doing the internal work. So a lot like you, like every day I'm checking my shit at the door. Like, I got to make sure that I'm holding true to myself. And Rob, what are your thoughts on all this stuff, man? Because this has got to tie in for you for certain.
No, I was just thinking about that. Like, God, there's so much that I was really angry about, right? There's so much stuff in my past and growing up, and I think it's really not being understood. Always being told, like, it's like never being understood. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I went to this grammar school that was really liberal, but I was conservative there. Then I went to this conservative high school and I was too liberal there. You know, it's like that's like a very small piece of it. So I was always very frustrated by many different things and just always like trying so hard and never being understood why I couldn't get something, or having adults who you thought were adults, but they really weren't because the way they treated you. Like when you look back as a kid in high school, the way these teachers treated kids, I was like, oh my God, like,
dude, seriously,
should have been knocked out or taken away from children. Like they really, I still think about it. I'm 51, right? Like that's much they affect you. So I had a lot of anger growing up and a lot of disappointments as I always was reaching so high, I guess. And then just never reaching what I thought was success. And then feeling those failures, and then my mother getting really sick too early, and then her dying, which like just destroyed all of us, me a lot. And then like just going through that, and then then my drinking went nuts,
Mm-hmm.
And that never helps anything as much as
No.
it's good at the moment.
Yeah.
And then getting sober was awesome because I let go of my anger. Like it really did. I was like, I gotta let go of this, towards family members and just the past and letting go of the past. And that's what comes into this movie. It's like, it's really hard for me to let go of the past because my childhood was awesome. My mom made it this magical, like, TV show. Really, seriously. That's how we grew up. And as you get older, you see like, oh my God, that's not, all these cracks start to come in to play. So when I got sober, I did let go a lot of anger, a lot of people. And that went really well for a long time. And then, just 3 years ago, my little brother tragically died. And one night suddenly, right, choked at a dinner party that I still am confused about. And that just took me out, man. Like I didn't drink and I didn't do drugs or anything. I don't know how. I mean, I was in a cloud I was just about to make the movie in 2021. I was just about to go and start casting. And then that happened and knocked me back 2 years. But I didn't stop, right? But that took, like, I worked so hard in getting rid of my anger. And now I'm like angry again. And it's like, oh my God, what do I do? Because I can't get sober to get rid of the anger because I'm sober. So it's like this whole thing. So I hope that this movie creates these conversations for people to talk about. We're all in this world together. And it's kind of one of those things, like we all have our problems. And it's like, my whole thing is like, I treat people the way I want to be treated. And I think if we all did that, God, it would change a lot of things in the world. So I do go through that anger that's back, and we deal with anger and trying to correct ourselves and not take it out on other people because it's where else do you
That's the hard one. That's the hard one, right?
You care about because we always take it out on.
Usually the person that's closest to you, spouse.
So
right?
We're all trying to fix ourselves. And I think that
no doubt
Rush can create conversations like this and people can talk about it. At least it alleviates some stress, right? You take a deep breath and that makes a big difference.
That's the thing though, guys. And Mena, like I didn't get I was talking to Rob via text earlier and even on the phone yesterday. When I say this movie needs to be seen everywhere and, to me, it's an Oscar nod. Like I truly mean it. You guys absolutely crushed it. And I really do feel if there's anybody listening that is a part of distribution or anything like that, like, yo, you need to get on this shit. Because the bottom line is I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. If this movie is not seen, then the world cannot heal. It needs to be seen. It needs to be seen everywhere.
It's so nice of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was incredible, Mena.
Thank you.
It was incredible.
I'm grateful to be a part of it. Rob's an incredible person. He really is. And I'm really grateful to have been thought of and to be a part of this journey for him and telling this very important story. That's to me, again, one of the greatest gifts. I've worked with people that it took like 12 years to get a project made. It's always like a really special, beautiful thing. And to come in as an actor and a piece of that, I'm very, very grateful for it. It's an honor.
Yeah, I feel that from you. And I'm grateful for you guys for allowing me to be a small part in this whole thing, to tell the story on the show, and then to even actually get the opportunity to have a password and watch the movie. That was kind of a cool moment for me, guys. I was like, whoa. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, babe, I got a password. Got a password. And she didn't get to use it. But I saved her, Mena. I saved her. But no, I just, like this day, again, to your point, Rob, the conversation pieces that this movie can really start just in a household of like, hey, how are you really? Mm-hmm. Because I think everybody has this preconceived notion, like when someone says, how are you doing? I'm good. It's not always good, right? It is a preconditioned response. And so this movie can really, truly open up conversations in places that it matters, especially in the public eye, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I could be smiling right now, but you don't know what's going on with me,
Mhm.
right? And I think that's the message of the movie.
I appreciate that you got to watch it, that you asked us on here, and that you liked it enough to talk about it with us. So super
Yeah.
great.
Well, hell, man, you're not getting rid of me, dude. Like you're not getting rid of me. Like
Now we're getting on I'm gonna group chat us with Bill. You talk about
that's
it.
cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I'm down for that. And I just want to thank you guys again, Mena, Rob, and Bill who had to drop off. But I appreciate you guys so much, and I cannot wait for more people to see the movie. And I keep giving me the insight of what's going on. I know we can't talk about it on air, but I want you to keep telling me what's going on and what we're looking at, because I want to be a big mouthpiece for you. So
Appreciate
whatever I could do, I'm down, and I can't wait to see how this turns out and all that good stuff. But just massive gratitude for all of you for coming onto the show today.
Thank you. Thank you so
again.
much. It's lovely to talk to you.
Lovely to talk to you too. Absolutely.
Or you want to do a follow up, and once we
What's that?
anytime we want to do a follow up, we get a big deal. We'll come back here first.
Hey, listen, when this thing's in every movie theater in the world, I'm flying you out. We're gonna all do this in person.
All right, I'll take you up on that.
Mena hasn't said yes yet. She's like, I don't know. Yes, Mena. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll come out there. We'll figure it out. But no, thank you guys again. And for the audience listening and watching, I want you guys to share the show with somebody you know, love, and trust today, that will get a ton out of just even hearing bits and pieces of what happened in this movie and the inspiration and the conversation. We're all about healing in the world. We're all about understanding that people are going through things in life, and you may feel like they got it all, but they're struggling somewhere. So be kind to everybody that you come across, because everybody has a story. And until next time, stay determined.
Shawn French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put it in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time, I confirmed it. A whole society determined to show.